Welcome back to Let's Laugh About It, and welcome
back.
to my humble abode.
Yeah, we're in Zoe's backyard. I'm in Zoe's backyard for the first time.
Jackie's backyard too,
Mm-hmm.
she lives here.
Zoe wishes.
I literally do. I'm in such denial. I'm getting Jackie's room together, like as if she's moving in.
She was like showing me her house, and she was like, "And this is your room."
Mm-hmm. And when I talk about it on my stories, I'm like, and Jackie's room is almost done.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Yeah, your story last night was funny.
Oh, yesterday this has nothing to do with Let's Laugh About It, but, and this actually might not be that funny. Okay, I'm going to say it anyways.
Say it.
So someone hit me up to do like UGC content, and I was like, oh, I don't know what my rates are. And she had just watched my stories.
Why didn't you tell me?
I don't know yet. I don't know actually.
It's like literally my job to help her with.
Okay. I need your help with UGC rates, but she had just watched my stories, and part of my story was like, I decided not to do the bathrooms because I'm literally running out of money. And I was like, I told her, I don't know what my rates are. And she put like, calculates how much it costs to tile bathroom floor. And I was
That's
like,
funny.
Literally. My rates are going to be, my rate is however much it costs to remodel the master bathroom.
Which honestly is probably a decent amount of money. Mm-hmm. So her rates are high, people.
Yeah. I realized that one stair costs freaking $40 to redo.
Yeah, that is crazy. Like redoing houses is so expensive.
I wasn't prepared. I
Who
was like,
is?
how much could it cost?
Yeah.
A lot. It costs a lot.
But we're pumped to be here. We're recording again. So exciting.
Yay! I missed it so much. What is that on the screen?
What's on the screen?
Oh, he wants agave Zoe. You want Club Zoe. Sorry, this is going to be, I need to stop doing this because it's going to be hard for Jackie to edit.
Yeah, we need this to be a quick edit so I can get it up by tomorrow morning.
Okay.
While also driving through the night. I need to figure out how my plan is.
I feel bad, Jackie.
That's why did you notice on the story I said that it'll be live at 6 a.m. PST?
Uh-huh.
Because if I had it be 6 a.m. EST, that would mean that I needed it up by 3 a.m. And those 3 hours, 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
It's still...
Your nails look so good.
Thanks.
Look at mine.
I painted them myself.
Zolly,
Yeah.
chill.
Sally, it's
She's
not your
so
show.
excited to see Jackie. Aww.
I feel like she was like so confused when I like...
You rolled up.
Yeah, she's like, what are you doing here?
Aww.
Did you bathe her recently?
Yep, because
She
she
looks-
pooped in her cage yesterday.
Of course she did. Did I tell you? No, I feel like I did. When I was watching her for those few weeks, she was like having accidents every time I left, basically.
She's so unpredictable because she can be like good for 8 months.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she like poops in her cage and you're like,
Yeah.
are you a puppy again? What's wrong with you? Oh my God, she wants your attention so bad.
Hi, Alina.
Okay, so topics for today are Jackie and I are just catching up basically.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You
really scared the shit out of me there, Zalina. Okay, lay down. Lay down. Lay down.
Zally.
Lay down.
Lay
You
down.
can be here,
with
but just lay down.
your stinky breath.
Yeah, get that stinky breath out of here. That scared the crap out of me.
I
Okay,
can't.
relax. Let's lay.
That one reel you posted of what were we talking about? I don't know, but Zali was sitting on my lap and she was so cute.
Yeah.
Just like someone commented on that. What was it? You've been killing it with the reels.
It's like, I'm so glad that we have new content to work with, because you would think that it would like make my life easier, because it's like, oh, not a new edit or not a new like podcast to edit, whatever. But it makes it harder, because then I have to go back and find reels I haven't made yet, which like I've already made reels from episodes, so I probably used all the best clips. So I have to like go back and find good clips again.
You've been doing so good though.
Thanks.
What's going on? Update the podcast on your crazy life. Where are you even living? Are you homeless?
So I guess like technically, because it's not like I'm on a lease or anything. No, so Zoe had like a crazy... we hadn't even talked about like our move out experience. Let's backtrack.
Oh
This is
my
literally just going to be an
God,
episode
yeah.
like filling you guys in. So when was it, like the last week of February, we asked our landlord if we could... no, it was like mid-February, because we were trying to end it by maybe even the end of February or something weird like that. Or like the first week of March.
Yeah, because I legitimately wasn't in the apartment the entire March, and when I realized that I was traveling that time I was like, fuck that. I don't want to spend whatever on rent that whole month.
Well, because we were kind of under the impression that the lease went until the end of March. So then we like messaged that. So we were just trying to have it end sooner than the end of March. Turns out it actually ended the end of April. So then we were like, oh shit. So then can we end it like the end of March then instead? And then Zoe was like gone the whole month of March. So like basically the first like 2 weeks of March, I was like giving tours, trying to get the apartment snatched up.
Being a realtor.
Yeah, literally. Because our landlord was like, well, you guys can be out as soon as, she was nice and she did March 31st. But then she was like, you guys can do sooner if you can get somebody in sooner. And so then we were doing that. And literally, I was going to Chicago the weekend of St. Patrick's Day. And I was leaving Friday night. We found out on Wednesday night that we could move out by Monday. But I was not able to cancel my Chicago trip. Honestly, if Brian wasn't going, it would have killed me. But if Brian wasn't going, I probably would have canceled the Chicago trip. So it ended up working well that Brian was going with me because it made me not cancel the Chicago trip. Like, it just made me have to like deal with the situation, just move out in time. So I had to, while working, and it was a crazy time because we were like, that was the week we were onboarding so many people. That like 8 people had to be onboarded like in 2 days while I also was working my 9 to 5. Like the agency for some reason was like crazy busy that week. I think I vlogged for the agency the most hours I ever have that particular week. Yeah. Which is wild when you think about how just busy that week was personal life-wise.
And I also was like asking you to do so many things in the apartment because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Or like there's just like random things that like Jackie had to deal with.
Oh my God, the couch.
Oh yeah.
But guys, in literally a day while working, it's not like it's just like a day of nothing. I had to move all of my stuff out into Brian's garage while also like prepping to go out of town. So like that takes thought too, because I'm like, okay, I need to like, I'm moving all my stuff out, but I need to like pack a luggage for the weekend. Like it just was so stressful. I also had to like, somebody was taking the couch, but the people, if they're for some reason watching this, you guys are the worst. They literally came, the couch was huge. The biggest couch ever. They come to the house literally in like a sedan. And I think
we were giving it to them for free.
Yeah. And like they were asking so much of me, like poor Brian, he had like just gone off work and he works like a physical labor job and he's like having to like bring this couch down. And then they like were like, well, you guys stay outside with this couch while it's on the corner. Plus like we live in a condo building, like in HOA, like I didn't feel good just leaving the couch there. Yeah. Especially since like Amy was doing this. Oh, sorry. Our landlord was like doing us such a favor. I'm like, I don't want her to like get a call that like I'm have this couch just sitting on the lawn, because they took like an hour before they got back, and I knew they would because they were like complete weirdos. But yeah, that was like the craziest week ever. So then if
you guys are watching this, you're the worst, and then you're like complete weirdos.
They really were. So then I left to go to Chicago, and then like me and Zoe had like literally just missed each other. And Zoe came into town and then moved all her stuff out.
I want to talk about my like moving experience, but I also want to go back in like the business part of this podcast and talk about that onboarding, because it was very unique. Yeah, and it's worked out really, really well. So well. We'll go back to that onboarding when we talk about like actually marketing and work. Yeah. But then Jackie,
I have comments about that experience too, like how.
Oh really? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk about. Okay, that'll be our like full business topic of the week. Yeah. Okay, so then Jackie left to go to Chicago, and I got back. Oh, and that was the thing. You were also watching Zali at the same time, and Zali's pooping in her cage.
No, so I feel like, I also think dogs just know when like anxiety-ridden time's going on, because those 2 weeks were really, there was like multiple nights where like I would really only sleep like 1 or 2 hours. There was one night that I didn't sleep not even a minute, didn't even lay in my bed, like nonstop working, because work was just so busy, but then life was so busy. And then I feel like Zali was like picking up on how much was going on, because I'm not kidding when I say, and she doesn't normally do this, so it's okay if I call her out. She doesn't normally do this, but every time I left the house, she peed in her crate. Like, I'm not kidding. Crazy. I think there might have been like, and I was watching her for like 2.5 weeks, and I think there might have only been like 1 or 2 times that I left the house that I came back and she hadn't peed or pooped in her crate. Like,
what's up with that?
Like, I actually felt bad for her skin, because I was getting worried I was drying her out.
Oh, from all the baths.
Because I had to keep giving her baths.
Yeah. What's up with that, bro?
But I think she just was picking up on like, and like things were leaving the house, like the couch left. She probably just was like, literally, what is happening? And I was so confused because I was like taking her on long walks and stuff.
Yeah,
and doing the
you
whole,
walk so much.
doing the whole bit to make sure she doesn't. So that's why I knew. I was like, or you're sick. I was like, what are the
Yeah, you messaged me and you're like, just so you know, she like won't stop.
Because I didn't
want to
like message Zoe and be like, just so you know, your dog's peeing every time I leave, because it would sound like I was mad. So I was just like, I'm actually more so just telling you because like she could be like sick or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Well, also she had that one time, and Jackie knows about this, but Zali was only like 4 years old, and she had incontinence where her hormones were all messed up. So her like, I was gonna say vagina.
I mean,
like her muscles down there were like relaxed, and so if she was sleeping, she was peeing herself.
Yeah.
And so I was worried like that was happening.
I was too. That's why I was like, I'm gonna let Zoe know, because also I was like thinking about it, and Brian was like, if she's going every time you leave the house, like that's something you should mention to the dog owner, because it could be something else. And I was like, oh, that's true.
The dog owner.
I was only thinking about it from the perspective of like, well, I don't want to like tell Zoe because there's nothing she can do about it. So she might think I'm just telling her to be a brat.
Yeah,
basically.
and I was like, what do you want me to do? Come home and clean it?
And he was like, no, you should tell her, like, because like Zali doesn't normally pee every time you leave the house.
Yeah.
So she could be like ill. And I was like, she's fine. I think Zali just is the kind of dog that like really picks up on energies. And I think she just was probably, my stress was probably stressing her out, honestly.
Yeah. So you were watching Zali, and I was going to have to find, when you left originally, I didn't know when I was going to come back to San Diego.
Yeah.
I was in Washington. I don't know where I was.
I don't either.
I
think Washington.
I don't remember where I was. Yeah, so I didn't know when I was going to come back to the house. Or was I in Arizona? No, I was in Arizona. I was in Arizona because I flew.
Closing.
Yeah, I closed on the house on the 15th. You left on the 15th. So I closed on the house. I got on a flight with like just a backpack.
Yeah.
Literally, I've never flew with just a backpack. No bags, nothing. I just got on a flight with a backpack on. I flew to San Diego. You had just gotten on a plane. And so Zali was only in her crate like for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, we didn't need to get, we, like, basically just traded
we
spots.
never needed to do a rover or anything.
Yeah. And then I let Sally out of her cage. She was all good. And, then I packed up all my stuff.
Yeah.
I started, like, that, or no, I didn't start that night because I got home at, like,
Friday.
Yeah, really late. And then I packed on Saturday and then drove to Arizona on Sunday. Yeah. And it was insane. It was so insane. And then I got on a plane to go pick up the Cybertruck. That's when I was in Washington.
Yeah.
Literally that Sunday, I got on a plane that same day.
Yeah. Wild. Like, it was literally such a wild time. And, like, sorry, Zali, I feel like I keep calling you out, but, like, I have to do this so that people know how crazy it is. Moving with Zali is really fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
I felt bad for you for that.
It was, like, because why was I packing shit up in the middle of, or not the middle of the night, but like kind of the middle of the night, really late? Oh, because I had to pack up, I had to move a bunch of, okay, so Friday was my flight to Chicago, but I had to work all day Friday, and I knew my Friday was gonna be really busy because I was onboarding those people. I had their meetings staggered the whole day, plus my 9 to 5 meetings. I was like, I will not have time to load up stuff, because I needed Brian's help, like load up his truck, my car, to bring it to Brian's house and still make our flight. Mm-hmm. So, and he had to work until 4. So I had to do it all. So basically I packed up my whole life and moved it all to Brian's really in like one evening. So I was packing up the cars finally at like 10:30 at night, and like Zali was like not okay. And I was like, Zali, I need you. Yeah. To not wake up all the neighbors, because I have to load up the car right now.
She does this thing where she like bites your feet when you're trying to leave the door, and like she's biting, like if you put her on a leash, she's biting her leash.
Yeah. Or like every time I would like leave the apartment to like load stuff up, she was like barking, but it was like 10:30 at night. Yeah. And so then I started getting like really overwhelmed because I was like,
it's anxiety.
Yeah. Like, even though like nobody complained or anything, I just was like, it was more like the anxiety of like, oh my God, any minute somebody could. Mm-hmm. So then like I had to leave some stuff for the next day.
That's why she's my emotional support animal, because if I don't keep her calm, I have fucking anxiety.
So true.
She's like made me need her like to be calm.
Yeah. But
we're like each other's emotional
I was
support
thinking
animal.
of you when you were moving stuff from like into here and stuff, because I knew how much sorry, Sally. I knew how much of a headache she was for me, and I was like, oh my God, like she's probably being such a headache for Zoe too. Sorry, Sally. We're not coming at Sally. It's just you need the context.
It wasn't,
because it adds to how hard it is.
Yeah. It wasn't as bad here, even though she has been like her normal annoying dog. I love her so much. I do feel like
we're coming at her.
But this is how she usually is.
Yeah.
But she doesn't do it good. Or she doesn't do good with change.
Yeah.
That's her problem.
Which is fair.
So like right now, she's cool. Like we're both sitting here, we're fine.
Yeah.
But it was packing up in Arizona.
Yeah.
Because going up and down the stairs, and then I would like, I also had the U-Haul all by myself, and like parking it.
Yeah.
That on the street and stuff, and then
stressful. Oh my God, I can't.
Oh, it was so.
It's
stressful.
also stressful. Well, what made it so stressful is that like I cannot stress enough how much like we literally were told like Wednesday night that we could be out by Monday, which that still sounds packed, but like it's not like we actually had Wednesday to Monday to like leisurely do it. We each like Zoe wasn't in town when we got this information, and I was leaving town in like 24 hours. So we both, it was like flip-flop, but we both only had like really 24 hours, really less to do it. So it just was like,
and then also
so stressful.
Once all my stuff was out, I was almost like, I'm not cleaning this place. Because I was like,
but we didn't make enough of a mess to need it to.
No, I did like the bare minimum of just like making sure it wasn't like, I don't know. I like
Swiffered like
your room was good,
and I Swiffered like the living room.
Yeah, I just did, and I like scrubbed some things with a magic eraser, but so I didn't do like a super deep clean.
We didn't need to. I think I texted you telling you like don't deep clean.
I almost didn't even like sweep up the like dust though.
In my opinion,
but I did.
You don't really like need to. I think if you like make a disgusting mess, clean that up. But if it's like we took very good care of that apartment. Like all a cleaner needed to do was like do like a regular like cleaning that people do in their house as like maintenance.
Yeah, barely a deep clean.
Yeah, so like I was like, do not stress yourself out about deep cleaning. Like I know I didn't. I didn't deep clean my bathroom. I didn't deep clean my room. So like don't do that.
Yeah, because they have people come in and clean anyways. So
like not to call out our landlord, but like when she was like, we need to paint the whole place, I literally was like, one, no you didn't. Two, like that was like your choice. Like
did she paint the whole place?
Yeah, that's why we got charged.
The whole place?
Why? That's why
we didn't have fresh paint when we went in.
I know, but that's why I was like, I'm not gonna argue her charging us.
And it was like dirty when we got there.
I know, but that's why
there was
like
poop on the toilet.
No, I know, but that's why I was like, I'm not gonna argue her charging us because she only charged us like $60-$70 each.
Yeah.
And I mean every penny counts, but still I just was like, she is letting us break our lease, which technically she could like hold our whole security deposits for. Like she is like, there were so many things, and if she's actually claiming she painted the whole place, that's definitely more than $60-$70 each.
I don't even want to tell you how much it costs to paint this place. I mean, it's like double the size, but it's a lot to paint.
No, I know. That's why I was like, how much did it cost?
It ended up being like almost $7,000.
Damn.
Isn't that disgusting?
Yeah.
I thought that it was going to be like way cheaper to do this stuff. That's why I was like,
that actually is like wild. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm not buying a couch. I'm literally, have you seen
Maybe you should have kept the couch.
Have you seen those reels where it's like only had money for the down payment and it's an empty house?
Yeah.
That's me.
It'll be fine though. Like,
but yeah, no, it will.
Just like do a couple months of like minimal spending once you're done with this, and then you'll be able to like buy some furniture.
Yeah, because I have like everything I need. Oh, I have something to talk to you about.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been waiting to bring this up.
Oh my God, I'm excited. Should I be scared?
Where'd all my forks go?
I didn't take them.
I was like, I'm gonna confront Jackie
I swear to God, I didn't take them.
We don't have any forks. I was like, so there's 2 forks and then like everything, like every like regular amount of like spoons and knives and stuff.
Zoe, did you check the dishwasher when you left?
Maybe not. But
because I had ran it right when I left the house. Like when you came home,
I think I checked it, but maybe I didn't
grab the utensils.
Yeah.
Because I ran it fresh for you, because
man.
that was me doing you a favor. Because Zoe does this thing where she uses like the Tupperware, but then goes out of town.
Mm-hmm. And then I have like moldy stuff in the
So
fridge.
I had I put all of her Tupperware and stuff in the dishwasher and ran it before I left the house so that when you packed up, it was all clean.
Yeah.
And there was probably forks.
That probably explains
sad.
it. No, it's okay.
It must just be the forks though. Because you'd probably notice other stuff missing, no?
No, yeah, because so at first I was missing my favorite mug, and you know how I am about my favorite mug.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, did Jackie do this to like fuck with me?
I would never.
I know, I knew you didn't. So I found my favorite mug, and that was in the dishwasher.
Okay, so you're good.
But then I was like, I don't have any freaking forks. I'm going to confront Jackie about this live on the podcast and see what she has to say.
I didn't take them. I think you just left them in the dishwasher. I'm dead that it ended up being your mistake. But I guess maybe my mistake. Maybe I should have alerted you to that.
No, you shouldn't have done
It's
that.
like normal to check the dishwasher, I think.
Yeah, no, it's totally normal.
Also, somebody said MILF so hot. I'd kiss y'all.
MILFs?
Like, we're not moms, but thanks.
Okay, wait, okay. So, since being here, like every other day, something goes wrong, which is like kind of normal. But so like one time, they shut my power off because I didn't like transfer it. So I was like, oh, that's like my fault, whatever. And then I couldn't get the Wi-Fi to work. And then I was going like, whatever. That was a whole nother day of like not getting the Wi-Fi to work. And then I tore down one of the walls here. And of course I had to pick the one wall that had the Wi-Fi connection in the wall.
Side note, I can't believe there was a wall there.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It looks like much better. I still kind of hate that pole is there. On the left side, but it's like it's so much more open.
Yeah.
But isn't that crazy? It doesn't. You can't even tell it. I knocked it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was another thing that I was like, oh yeah, no big deal. Let me start knocking down walls.
Yeah.
But then so I was like, I thought I was Superwoman, and I was like, oh well. Because when the Wi-Fi guy was here, he was like, you do have connection to like that room up there, but it's like not connected. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, I'll just connect it. And so I'm in that like box outside, those boxes outside the house that have all the connections. And I'm like pretending like I'm a fucking like electrician moving things. So that was like a whole like 2 days of me thinking I was like, I can do anything.
Yeah.
That's like a superpower, and like the biggest curse is like that I think I can do everything.
Yeah.
Because it causes me to like melt down.
Yeah.
Because I think something's so easy because I'm like, oh, I just moved this cable to this cable.
Yeah.
But I kept having to run upstairs, see if it was on, run back down. And then I'm like, well, is it not working because I didn't do the right cable, or is it not working because I need to factory reset my modem?
Yeah.
And like, or is there no power here? And so I had like a breakdown from the internet problem.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, they're like redoing the floor. Zali, again, is going crazy. Every time she sees a worker, she's barking at them.
Yeah.
And then today, I finally went on my walk. I would walk at least once a day, mostly twice a day in San Diego.
Big walkers.
Every single day. And since I've been here, I haven't been walking. And I can feel it. I feel puffy. I feel like my digestion's messed up. I just feel like
all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah. I just like my mental, like everything's messed up. And I was like, I need to get my walks back. I go on a walk this morning. I'm like, oh, I'm getting my life back. I walk up to my house, and guess who's sitting here? The city of Phoenix turning off my water.
Oh, they like came here and did it.
Yeah. And he was like snarking at me.
Oh.
And I was like, you're evil. Like, stop what you're doing. And the most annoying part is that I've owned before, like in Chicago, like a long time ago. So I know that it's not always like this.
Yeah.
I called 2 weeks ago to try to turn the water on, or a week and a half ago. And they said that I needed to upload. They can't do anything on the phone. You need to go online. You need to create an account. You need to upload your deed, and not just upload it. It can't be a picture. It needs to be a PDF, and submit it and wait for approval. And I didn't have Wi-Fi at that time. And so I was like, oh, I don't even know where like the deed is and all of this like mess. And so I procrastinated it until the point where the city of Phoenix came and turned my water off.
That's wild.
So
also,
right now
like,
we can't flush the stupid toilets.
Other places, like other counties, like it's like you literally just call and they turn it on.
Yeah, they verify your identity. They ask you some questions like, what's your mom's maiden name?
That's why when you were like asking about the deed and stuff, I was like, I wish I could like help from like a legal perspective, but you can't because every county is different.
Oh, and the scam mail. I still have to show you this big box of like scam mail. Yeah. So anyways, it's been stressful. Oh yeah. Then they knocked down that wall, and then they realized that they also, they thought that the electricity ran like this way. So I was going to lose some like outlets, but I was like, oh, whatever. I don't need those outlets.
Yeah.
And so, but it ended up, the power ran down from upstairs this way. So when they knocked down the wall, it cut off all the power to the side of the house.
Oh my God.
And so then they had to turn the power off, and I'm sitting here working.
Yeah.
Like the Wi-Fi's off because the power's off, and like it's just been super hectic.
Yeah, I feel like everything that can go wrong is going wrong. But that's like a learning curve.
Yeah. I mean, it's all like good things. I can't complain. It's just like little annoyances that are stressful.
But they'll calm down.
Mm-hmm.
Like honestly, pretty soon, because you're getting all of the big things that could go wrong.
Yeah.
Figured out.
Today should be like my last day that I have to sleep on an air mattress.
It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, back to onboarding all those people.
Yeah.
So I think we talked about on the podcast how frustrated I was with like outsourcing and BPOs.
Yeah.
We talked about that, right?
Yeah, we have.
So
keep chatting.
BPOs, yeah. What's going on?
I'm only covering this because I'm wearing like a bootylicious thing, and I don't want to like.
Oh.
I just really want to clip so that I stop playing with my hair.
Did you say bootylicious?
Yeah, I'm like wearing a onesie.
She is wearing a bootylicious.
And like I just don't feel like.
You should have put on a show. We would have got more viewers.
Right.
Oops, sorry. Oh, brother.
Oh no.
Oh, brother.
Oh brother.
Okay. So a BPO is a business. Actually, I don't even know what it stands for, but it's usually like outsourcing, business procedure outsourcing or something. I don't know. We could look it up and put down the actual thing. But
I use the term all the time.
I know. I use it all the time. I don't know what it stands for. But it's basically like outsourcing, and a lot of times it's overseas, cheaper help. You're like outsourcing your tasks. And a lot of companies end up using it for their customer service, customer support, customer experience, whatever you want to call it, because it ends up being one of the biggest like headcounts of your business, because your customers, as you get more customers, the more people you need to support them. So it becomes a really big cost to the company. So you want to be able to do it as cheap as possible, but at the same time, still giving the best service. So my experience with BPOs and outsourcing in the past and up until like literally this last month, 3 weeks really.
This will be it's funny. The reason why Zoe's like saying it like that is because we just did like the first like payroll for like this really good group of people that Zoe found, and it was literally their first 2 weeks. I mean, even some of them hadn't even logged their first hours till like the 18th, so really like less than 2 weeks. And Zoe was like, I was like talking to Zoe about how I was doing payroll, and she was like, well, do it however you did it last time or whatever.
I know. I was like, wait, you haven't paid them yet?
I'm like, Zoe, this is the first time I'm paying them. And she was like, how? And I'm like, I know. It literally feels like we've had them for like months, which I feel like also is because it's been like such a learning curve, at least on my end. We'll go into that, but I've had to learn so much even. Yeah.
So my experience in the past was that like we weren't getting great help. And I've learned so much about outsourcing and BPOs, and I'm really grateful because it's been such a good experience. And I had such a bad taste in my mouth because I was looking at these responses. I was looking at like the way the customers were responding to our like current, I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like really, really upsetting. And there's a couple things that it comes down to. It comes down to like also the demographic of your business. It comes down to like the training that you provide for them.
Yeah.
It comes down to the interviewing and what you expect out of them. Like, are they doing email support? Are they doing phone support? Like, how much are they getting paid from their agency? What are their working situations like?
Yeah, what's like their motivation even?
Yeah. All of these things. Even to the like fact of like what's their living situation like.
Yeah.
All these things that you don't think about when you're not outsourcing and you're just like interviewing like entry level people in the US. Like, so there's so many things even their internet, like their internet speed and their connections.
Yeah.
All of those things have just been something that I've overlooked because I like hiring within the US.
Used to like a certain standard that like everybody has like Wi-Fi that is good enough for the most part. Yeah.
Or like access to it. If they don't have it, then they can like easily go to like a library or something.
Yeah, whatever.
Coffee shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was having a lot of challenges and I was getting very, very discouraged. And yeah, there was just like so many hard points in it.
Yeah.
And what we ended up doing is going on this like virtual assistant Filipino like website and putting the dollar amount like a little bit higher than you would pay like someone there typically.
Yeah.
So how it works, you usually with a BPO, you pay the BPO a rate and then the BPO sources the people and like brings it to you.
Yeah.
And that wasn't working for us. And we were paying like very cheap, but like it just wasn't working. And so we were like, well, let's see what happens if we go like straight to the source and like find people. But
direct to consumer. Not really.
Direct to
BPO.
employee.
No. Direct to employee.
Yeah, so we went on this website. We put the price point like a little bit higher to see like what kind of talent we could get, and we got so much great talent.
Yeah.
And the struggle was we were like, wait a second.
Well, they're paid more than like if they went through like an agency that more than like that agency would pay them.
Yeah.
And we pay directly to them.
We actually don't keep anything right now.
Like it actually makes me feel really good when we pay them because we make zero profit off them.
Zero. We like actually lose probably just a little bit of money because
totally
we like spend time doing like managing them. But we're like willing to do it because it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's like,
and honestly, I've done a good job of even when I batch, because you could tell, it's kind of funny, you could tell they all talk to each other because if they ever have a question, I'll get an email from all of them within the same couple minutes. And I'm like, you guys are all chatting about this, which I love. And they're all like super respectful. And it's never like rude questions. It's questions because they just want to understand our processes more. But I've gotten better at being like, I am like emailing them all back right now, and it is for this specific client. So I'm going to like, and we have been billing that client. I mean, it's very minimal hours, but like for my time of having to manage them kind of. So I've been doing a better job of like, okay, if I'm like replying to all their emails right now, I'm going to clock in as like, I'm replying to all their emails right now.
Yeah. And that's kind of just how we have always operated the agency.
Yeah.
We feel like if we're learning something, we shouldn't charge the client
for learning.
For like us learning. They should just pay for like the minimum of like what it costs us.
Yeah. Like when I say I bill them for what I do with them, I literally mean like a couple hours in 2 weeks. Like it's nothing.
And it's hard because we do a lot of like side chat and talk and texting and stuff, and we can't like bill for that, but it's like still our hours and our mental and all that.
But we just take it as like, well, we're learning, because I have learned so much. Like I know like the most cost efficient, because so it's like a challenge when paying them, because we want them to like get their, like a lot of these websites and stuff and the ways you could pay, like they're hefty charges because we're converting the money to their money, because it has to go into their bank. So it has to convert to their money. And a lot of these websites will charge you like really high percentages. Like say somebody for 2 weeks gets paid like $1,000. Like like some of these websites, it's like, then that person only ends up getting like 900. And it's like, do we eat that or do they eat that? Because you could think of it both ways. Like, is it fair that they have to eat that? I could argue no, because we're the employer. We should eat that maybe. But like also we can't eat that.
No, we can't because we're not charging. Yeah, it's hard.
So I found like the most cost effective one where like they are technically eating it, but it's like $1 per $1,000.
Yeah.
So they're not even really eating anything. And so like that was exciting to find, because Zoe is probably going to touch on this, but they are amazing.
The best.
So like I want
love
them to get
so much.
every penny they work for. I don't want them to have to eat exchange rates and whatever.
Yeah, they are the best.
And I'm not going to shout out what we use because they should sponsor us.
Oh.
I'm not shouting out what we use to pay them. I'm not.
We should hit them up.
Yeah.
So someone at work, Matt, he actually went through and like did all these interviews from that website, and he just has like such a good like intuition about people. Like he is newer to like the customer experience side, but really this job that we're doing, like we teach them everything. They just have to have good critical thinking and like be able to like be very respectful and compassionate and all those things. So you could really just like interview people for that and not even need them to have any like experience really, and we can teach them everything. And that's kind of how we are with the agency too. Like people just have to be good workers and good people, and like they can learn. So yeah, he did a really good job at like picking people out. And then because they were all like individual contractors, we ended up running them through the agency so that we could like pay them and track their time and all of this stuff. But they're like my favorite group of people.
They are so great. Like I was like when I like did onboarding with them, I like was asking them, I was like, I mean, you guys have, I don't know if you guys have done this before, if you have friends who have, like whatever, like I want to hear from you guys, like how do you guys want to be paid? Like, because I don't want to just like come up with a method of paying you and it's not the best one, whatever. So like I collected all their feedback of like different websites they've heard of, and then I would like email with them like, is it like, they gave me all their bank info and I'm like, is this compatible with your bank? I want to make sure like this is all filed out. And they were like so appreciative of the time that I was putting in, because if you actually think about it, like they're independent contractors, like we don't really have to, like this is gonna sound like I'm like shouting this out, but I kind of am. We don't have to figure out how they get paid and make sure that it's the best way for them. Like think about all the people that like pay you or whatever for your stuff, and it's just that's the way they're paying you. They don't ask. Like I just like, they're just like, we just wanted to like make sure that we had the best way to pay them, whatever. And like I feel like a lot of like Americans, like other people would be like, oh yeah, of course they're trying to figure out the best way, like they should. Whereas they were like, oh my God, this is so helpful. Like I got one email from one of them that was like, we could just tell how much you guys care about us. And like somebody else was like, I think I sent this to Zoe. Somebody was like, I haven't gotten paid in like over a month. So I'm so excited that you're asking me so many questions about how I want to get paid, because like I'm so excited to get paid. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm excited. I think I responded like, I'm excited to pay you.
I love them so much, and they're so funny. There was something. Chelsea or no, who? Okay, one of them. I don't want to say like their names in case they're not comfortable, but one of them was like, I'm gonna share my screen really quick. I have something really weird, and Chelsea made a joke. Chelsea's like an internal, inevitable. Employee. Chelsea made a joke, and she's like, what if she, because it was taking her a little bit to pull it up, and she's like, what if she just like pulled up Zoe's Instagram?
Oh my God.
And she's like, I just have something really weird, can you guys look at it? And she shares her screen, it's like my Instagram.
Oh my God.
And then another one put in the chat, they're like, haha, let's laugh about it.
Aww.
And they were talking about how they like looked up my socials and stuff, and I was like, I love you guys, and they make jokes about like, let's laugh about it.
Oh, I love that.
I know. But yeah, they're really like, they
are smart too.
They're so smart. They're literally the best group of people, and they've changed my mindset about it. And I was talking to someone today about how like I was so anti BPO because I only had bad experiences. Yeah. And now I'm realizing that it's not the people. Not that I like thought it was like the people. I have nothing against, obviously. But there was just so many bad experiences that I was like, this isn't,
and you start to think, because it's with anything, it's like the same way that like somebody in a different country might be like, I don't know the way like Americans like approach a problem. Like it's a different country. Like, I don't know. You don't know like the way those people like operate and stuff. So it has nothing to do with like, it's just like kind of scary, honestly. I was scared when Zoe was like, we have all these people onboarding. I need you to onboard them with how we do like time tracking and stuff, and then I need you to also like, she didn't say it in like a rude way, but just like giving you the cliff notes, and then she's like, also like figure out how to pay them. I'm like, oh my God, I literally like, I knew
Jackie could figure it out.
I was so scared. I knew I could figure it out, but I was scared because there's so much that goes into that. Like I had to like research like what that means for us legally with taxes, what that means for them, what do we need to give them any forms. That's why I really wanted to go through a website, because then the website gives you the forms at the end of the year, gives them their forms, gives us our forms. Whereas if we were to like pay them through like bank transfer, I'm like, that's when like it gets so confusing with taxes. Plus bank transfers out of the country are expensive.
Yeah.
They give you that wire fee. which was like $45 because we have somebody who lives in Nigeria actually, and something's going on with like Nigerian banks where we thought that
all the Nigerian princes are getting paid out or something.
Yeah. So like I can't use the website to pay her Nigerian bank, this website we found. And we also like we could bank transfer, but that would be a $50 fee, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's $100 a month when we pay twice a month, and we're eating that because we're not gonna deduct her paycheck $50.
No,
like we just
that
wouldn't feel
is
good
so
about
much
that.
money.
Yeah. So luckily that's why it's so great that they're so easy to work with, because she was like, wait, I think I have a way that I can get an American bank set up. So she has like an American bank now, so now I can use the website to send money to her American bank. And I made sure with her, like, in the way you can get the money from the American bank doesn't cost you money, correct? And it doesn't. So it just like, I don't know, it was like a scary process, but it's been like so nice.
I love them. Yeah. What was it? Yesterday I got on a call and I was like 3 minutes late, and I've been meeting with them twice a day for like, since they've been, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, to make sure like they have good training and check-ins. And I got on a meeting late, and usually it's me, Brittany and Chelsea are like on the call to help with training, but a lot of times, like, only one of us will show up, and we just want to make sure, like, one of us is always there. Yeah. And so yesterday I got on 2 minutes late, like, thinking one of them would be there, and no one was there. And I was like, oh, my gosh, you guys don't have any adults here. And they were laughing. And today I got on a call, and they're like, hi, Mom.
Oh, I seriously love them.
Oh, also, so we all...
And I just want to say, they really are, like, so intelligent. Like, I accidentally... You'd be surprised what people miss. There's been times where, like, I've done things and months have gone by and I'm like, everything's fine, but how did nobody miss that? Like, I had that typo, or that, like, I've sent this many invoices and, like, I had that name spelt a little wrong. Like, nothing that would mess with anything legally, but just, like, funny little things like that. And I literally sent one of the guys his, like, independent contractor contract, and I accidentally I must have been, like, thinking of this other person's name, because I like combined their names. I had like somebody else's first name, his middle name, and his last name, and then her last name again. So you could tell I didn't even like copy and paste it. I was just like thinking of both of them at the same time. And then like he emailed me like last week or whatever, this week, and was like, hey, I know I like signed this and sent it back to you, but it just occurred to me, like, you have some combined names on here, like correct it and send it back to me and I'll sign it and get it back over to you. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, you're a genius. And he was like, not a genius this week, maybe next week. And I was like, you guys are so funny. They're
so funny. And we kind of like started this little like rivalry against like boys versus girls. Yeah. And the guys are always like, oh, girls for, like, when I'm like, okay, I need a volunteer who's gonna like pick up this ticket, and the guys are like, girls first. And, like, they're like volunteering each other,
and I love that they're like all friends. Yeah, because I used to get nervous the first few weeks. They've only been here for a few weeks. I'm telling you, like, these last couple of weeks feel like a lifetime. Long. The first couple days I was like, I guess I could send them mass emails because they're all starting at the same time and I'm sending the same message. But I was like, I don't want to do that though, because like I don't know. But then I started to realize, as the days and weeks have gone on, they really are like, they all know each other, they're all friends, whatever. So I've started to like combine some emails now so that I just be more efficient. But like, I love that they're like all buddies and that they all talk. Because one of them actually emailed me and was like, they said something like, I apologize if this is rude, but I heard you were thinking about paying us through XYZ. Because I was talking to whoever, and I was like, oh my God, that's not rude. I emailed back and was like, I want to make it very clear that like, I want you guys, like, I want there to be transparency. I want to know, like, that's okay that you guys are talking about like your preferred ways to get paid. It's okay.
Yeah, they're so great. Oh my gosh, I love them so much.
They are so great.
I had, that's like one part of it. So we like sourced our own like outsourcing, and we ended up like, and it'll probably end up being like the start of Inevitable Agency's BPO, our own BPO.
Yeah. I will say, shout out to the client this is for. Can I say?
Yeah.
Okay. It's Audie, and it's Zoe's
full-time.
Yeah. Shout out to them, because one thing that I was very stressed about with this, which I feel like this is like a good like this could be a huge pain point with something like this. Since we're filtering them all through the agency, that also meant we were fronting the money of paying them.
Yeah.
Which scared me when Zoe told me that, because we
don't have that much money
because we price people out very fairly, based on like what you see like in the market, based on the research I've done. So like we don't have this like absorbent, I don't know that word, whatever, large amount of money to be like fronting, because there's a lot of them that came on at one time. So like one payroll, like our last payroll, can I say numbers? Probably not. Was quite a bit of money. Like even people that have a lot of money in their bank, it's still a lot of money to be fronting. But I was like nervous before all of this, because I was like, how are we going to front like that big of a payroll when we have our own payroll? Like was nervous. But the great thing about Audion is so we have set up a structure that like I invoice them twice a month, because we pay them twice a month, just to make sure that like, okay, we might pay them today, but like we'll get all that money back the next day, so that it stays really good. And they're great about it. They literally, the day, they must pay the invoice the minute I send it, because like that money that I invoiced them 2 days ago or yesterday was in the bank this morning.
Amazing. Yeah. Which is amazing. It is scary. It is scary.
Such a huge load off of like my shoulders, like not having to worry, like, because there's some clients who don't pay you for a long time, so it's scary when you're fronting all this payroll money to like be like, but when are we going to get that money back, because we're going to have another payroll in 2 weeks. That was my big fear, because we could front it for one payroll, but we can't front it for 2 payrolls. So that was my biggest fear, and that has gone really nicely too. So it's like a twofold, like we're filtering them through the agency, but also it's nice that the client that we're filtering them for pays their invoices on time. Yeah. And there's a whole, I mean, you guys can go back and listen to the struggles about the agency. I think I've talked about it on here, of like when I first started it, I just like promised clients way too much and have like run it down to zero, and even like my personal bank account zero, because I had to pay people. And so I'm definitely way too generous, and that was probably definitely like a generous moment of me. I'm like, oh, we'll figure it out, we have some money, which we can figure it out, and we did, just as long as, again, clients pay on time, which they do, and they pay via a channel, because some people will pay that day, but based on the channel they pay, we might not see it for a week or 2. Oh my gosh, yes. But so it's twofold that it's perfect, because not only do they pay the minute I send the invoice, but the form of which they pay gets it in our bank the next day, which is just, oh my God, so nice. And yeah, so it's been nice. And the thing I wanted to talk about is this is actually like a need that almost every single client we've worked with the agency asks for, that we haven't provided because we hadn't figured it out yet. Because we only provide the best experience. Like if it's not going to be the best, we're not going to do it. Yeah. So it's not something that we'll say yes and then we'll figure it out, because I hadn't seen it done right. Yeah. So now that we've seen it done really, really well, like better than, I would say they're better than a lot of Americans, like a lot of Americans. And I'm just like so grateful for them. So I've never had like a group of people like thank me so much. Not that I need to be thanked, but even that, I'm like, because that stands out to me, because they work in literal customer experience. So when I see them like thanking me so much for just like blinking, I'm like, oh, they must be great for a human to talk to. Yeah. When they have a problem. Yeah. Yeah, they're amazing. So yeah, that's so coming soon. We will probably offer this as a service from Inevitable once we figure out, like, once we perfect it. Yeah. Which I feel like we've done the hard part. Because the hard part is like the finance part of it, and like making sure that they're good people. Yeah, no, the interviewing or like sourcing people is really hard. Yeah. But on the other hand, I actually found a BPO, and I won't say the name because, again, maybe they could sponsor us one day. So I found a BPO that has similar talent to the talent we sourced. It's a little bit more expensive because we're paying the agency, so it could be similar to like something we set up in the future. But they're really cool because they have an office in the Philippines that like is just like a really good just place to
like a really good working environment.
Yeah.
And they provide everything that they need. And there's even just like they provide like therapy and mental health and a doctor and
nice.
all these things like in the building. So it's like really cool to see, and everyone just like seems so happy. And the way they did it, they're not just like, okay, we'll provide 20 people for you. You're not even gonna meet them, but they'll do the work,
Yeah.
which I think is where a lot of BPOs either go wrong or just hope that they don't get a close eye on them.
Yeah.
And but no, they interview like us to make sure to see what's most important for us, and then they source a bunch of people, and then you do like speed interviewing, like speed dating. It's like an hour or 30 minutes to an hour long Zoom call.
Yeah.
And they bring in all the candidates to interview, and they tell you a little bit about themselves. You can ask them questions, and you just like you meet a bunch of people. It's really, really fun. Everyone like has been really great so far.
Yeah.
And then you can pick who you think are the best fits for your business.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's been a really pleasant experience. So it's like, this is awesome because I'm seeing so many good examples of outsourcing, when before I just saw nothing but bad. But the trick is you can't pay the bare minimum.
Yeah. Like, I feel like a lot of people here having people from like, overseas, and they automatically assume like, oh, so are you paying them $4 an hour?
Mm-hmm.
Like some of the team gets paid close to like, I don't want to say anything, but they're paid well. I was even impressed when Zoe gave me like the hourlies. I was like, oh, cool. Like, they're getting paid like well.
They're paid well, and but if you compare it to some like an entry level that we have here, it would be like, it's just very different.
Yeah.
It's like much higher quality for the not an entry level.
Yeah.
And I do like, I want to respect everyone's like privacy and everything, but I also want to be transparent about BPOs and pricing and stuff, because I think it's something I like was in the dark about, or just like not completely comfortable, or just didn't know much about, because people like wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
So I want to try to like provide as much value as we can, but it's just been a really good experience. But I think that's one of the like things I've learned is you can't just pay the bare minimum. Yeah. So yeah, that's like maybe this title could be Inevitable Agency Starts a BPO. Yeah. What's a BPO? That could be the title.
Yeah. Perfect.
What's a BPO? Oh, I've been also learning. I'll have to show you TubeBuddy for SEO. I know if Steve's in here.
Emails.
Yeah, if Steve's in here, he's probably gonna be like, I
told you. I said I've seen the emails. I'm on all of Zoe's emails.
Wait, we have to talk about this. I think
I've been so good. That was my first mistake. That was my first time I did that.
We already talked about this on the podcast, how Jackie is now in like all my personal emails.
It's just to like, I'm not hardcore in it. Like, it's not like I'm like looking at every email she gets, but it's just to have another set of eyes, because Zoe is just, we all know Zoe's not the best with her phone. So that way I'm able to like flag like, oh, that's a really important email. Like, we need to handle that.
Or if I get like a verification code.
Yeah. And like, I handle it with Cassie when she needs it for Beehive now. Instead of you having to like do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. But when we were talking about like back and forth with our like overseas people, I was like reading things from Jackie, and like my personal email was looped in there, and then all of a sudden I see that like I'm talking. And I was like, I didn't say that.
Because somebody asked, like, was basically clarifying something, and I was like, yes, like I responded from Zoe's and said like, yes, sorry, like if the way I worded it was confusing, but what you just repeated back to me was exactly what I am doing. I might have just worded it differently. So like, no worries, all's good. That's how you're getting paid.
But it said Zoe Kahn said this.
Yeah. And I noticed it right away. So then I responded and was like, haha, sorry. I actually double as Zoe's assistant, not just like HR. So like, I'm in her email. So that was like me pretending like me accidentally on Zoe, like me to do like, haha. And they're all sweet, so they thought it was funny.
Yeah, and I never really talk in emails. I'm CC'd in a lot of things so that I have visibility, and I like just skim through things. So it's very rare that I like butt in and talk.
Yeah.
But I like had to, like, I just replied like so unprofessionally and just said LOL at Jackie impersonating me. What the heck? And
Also,
they thought it was so funny.
Somebody just commented, "Ooh, the lighting looks so good now that it is darker out." And honestly, I agree. Like, I'm kind of loving this vibe. But part of me is like, should we always record at night outside? Like, even when we're remote? Because in our backgrounds will kind of look the same.
We could.
Because it honestly looks so good.
We could.
And it's kind of relaxing.
Jackie and I have to figure this out for when she's away, because we want to try to have it where we both have
the same background. Which we will. Mm-hmm. We'll be able to figure it out.
Don't the citrus trees smell so good?
They do smell good.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was funny. And then I did want to say, this morning I had both my groups of the overseas people training at separate times. And my first thing I did on both calls, or no, one of the calls, I said, I just want everyone to know that I'm wearing a Pikachu hoodie. And I showed them my Pikachu hoodie.
So we cannot go a podcast episode without talking about Pokemon.
And the hype that they gave me, they all came off mute. They were like, oh my God.
They all came off mute.
We love it. And even one of them said, is that 100 Thieves? And I was like, yep. He's like, oh, the Valorant team. And I was like, yep. And I'm so happy that you know. And then next group. And I was like, I want to show you guys my hoodie. And then they say, oh, Pikachu, that's so cute. And I was like, this is the energy I needed.
That is the energy.
And I'm never working with Americans again.
Yeah.
Because
and that's just about mine.
I need to be hyped up about my Pokemon addiction.
Yeah, and like I won't do it for her, so she has to find somebody else who will.
So that's what it is, Zolly.
This was fun. I feel like we caught up on so much.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what else.
We talked about the move. Talked about BPOs.
Oh, I did speak on a webinar. Oh my gosh, that was a whole nother thing. The webinar. Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't.
Well, though.
I want to thank. I don't know if I gave like Inevitable enough praise for like supporting.
Oh.
Because it was so fun. There was almost 800 people live.
I didn't realize that it was that big of an event, honestly.
Yeah. I didn't realize either. And so it was almost 800 people, and I was just so honored to, like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, is my life real? Like, I never thought that I could be asked to do these things.
Yeah.
I always looked at like the people doing the webinars and been like, I wish I could be there one day.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy to be there and like also know how like hectic it is behind the scenes, and like you look at people and you're like, they have their life together and like shit together, and then here's me like being asked to do these things and my power is going out. I'm like on my hotspot. I'm like barely have Wi-Fi and then just like pulling it off like nothing. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, like people just like are normal people.
Yeah.
And figuring it out and just, I don't know, giving back. It's cool.
Yeah.
There is an event in May that I'll be speaking at. I need to choose my topic. If anyone has any ideas or what suggestions or
something you want
requests, let me know. I like these because it forces me to put my thoughts down in a deck, and then I like repurpose it really well. I spoke on like turning returns into returning customers once. And then this one I talked about the win back system of like winning back angry customers. And so yeah, I have to think of a new topic, and this one will be live. So yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be in San Diego in May, in about a month. So if anyone wants to do a little work trip, San Diego, it'll be super fun. Yeah. Are you coming?
I'm going to try to, yeah. Okay.
Because
remember, it's like I'm out of town.
Oh, and
that
you're
first weekend of May.
You're like moving like that weekend before, I think.
Yeah, and then I'm out of town that next weekend too.
So that might be a lot for you.
No, but that's why it might work out, because I'll be traveling. So it might just be like I'll make it a pit stop.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
honestly, any excuse to go back to San Diego. Like,
I know. I love
if
it
it was
so
in like
much.
not San Diego, I maybe would be like, who knows if it'll work. But it's
Yeah.
in San Diego.
So it has
I think
to
I
work.
can make it work. It'll just be like an in-between flight. That's why I think it'll work.
Mhm.
If I didn't happen to be traveling at that time, then I think it would be like, but if I'm already on planes, why not just like add one in the middle?
Everyone at these events loves Jackie
Yeah, like,
the VA.
Part of me like needs it for my ego boost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because remember the last 2 events? Actually, Sen Lane was like the best Jackie the VA thing.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
That was like peak Jackie the VA. It really was.
So yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up.
Yeah, this was a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was so nice to like do this again.
I miss it. And yeah.
We'll be back to regularly scheduled programming, like whether the busyness of life likes it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like the last 2 weeks have been crazy. But we didn't leave you guys hanging. Like 2 weeks ago, we still had an episode, like fully had an episode. It just was like a mashup, but it was fully an episode. And the last week, so we only didn't have an episode 1 week, and you can't say we didn't have an episode.
Yeah, because
It was
there
2 minutes
was
long,
one.
but we had one. So we'll be back to like life again.
Yeah.
It'll be remote, but I have a feeling me and Zoe are still going to be seeing each other so frequently that we will like.
Well, yeah, because you live
in
here.
person. Yeah. And yeah, I didn't even realize you said that. I don't know if you saw the message, but
What? Oh yeah.
is available. It'll be a surprise. Is available anytime after the last week of April. So whether I'm there,
Wait, here?
no, in San Diego.
Okay.
So whether I'm available or not, I'm gonna set up for you guys to record
Okay.
when you're in San Diego
Will I be in San Diego?
for the event.
Oh, okay. So
you
she'll
guys,
be
You guys will make it work.
cool. Let's go.
And you can just bring like the free hand mics.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
record from anywhere. And I don't know if you even know this is still on the calendar, but we are recording like in a week and a half with so we have somebody else, but we'll have a guest in
Wait,
like 2
on this
episodes.
podcast?
Yes. we'll have a guest in like 2 episodes. I'll have to fill Zoe in like off camera.
Also,
So we have some guests coming up.
if you know anyone or if you're in the North Phoenix area, I need someone to replace in-person Jackie.
Yeah, in-person stuff.
Not outpatient
I'm not
Jackie.
going anywhere.
She's not going anywhere. But Jackie also has way too much on her plate anyways. So we're looking for an executive assistant really for both of us.
Yeah, because then I could like plug them in to be like, just do
I need
little
help
things.
With filming content. And I think if I have someone here that's like, okay, even like you schedule like, okay, they're working.
I still would, because I'm a control freak. And also just, I'm like protective over Zoe. And like, honestly, the way that like, I don't trust that other people can like figure out how Zoe's mind works in a productive way. So like I would still be instructing this person, but like they could just do the in-person stuff.
Yeah.
So you'd be working like very closely with me.
Yep. In person. And it's potential, the Cybertruck, you'll get updates on the vlogs, but it's potential that part of the job is helping rent out the Cybertruck. And like, when do you get an opportunity to do that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So I'm looking for someone. If you know anyone in the North Phoenix area, it's an in-person gig.
And you can email me, Jackie@inevitableagency.co, because
.co.
you can also like DM Zoe or whatever, but if you want like a fail-safe, put me on it.
Honestly. So yeah, those are the updates.
Yeah. We're going to go get some Mediterranean food now.
We'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate the podcast, all those things. I can't believe we're at like almost 70 reviews on Spotify, which is insane.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening. We'll
We've
catch
had
you
so much
next
fun.
week. We love you guys.
See you guys later.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.